working, and he doesn't like to stop once he's there. So, number one hurdle was just accomplished, and that was getting this beast across the spot right back there by that tree where the water runs through. We've had 3 days of rain, and I have buried this thing to the axles just right over there in the past. So anytime I burn brush, I like to have Waldo out here because number one, as it burns, you just push everything on and it ends up being a lot quicker burn. If you can keep things in where it's hot, it burns a lot faster. And number two, you know, if something were to get away from us, which thankfully has never happened, and I'm not too worried about today because, like I said, we've had 3 days of rain. I've got something out here more than just rakes and shovels. So the main thing is I keep Waldo out here when I'm burning, just like I said, to push all these hay bales and stuff up on there, and they burn faster. So I've got to get the torch and stuff out, and then I'll come back. Okay, so here's what I've been using lately to help start the fires, especially when everything is wet. So I've got the noise. It is super windy out here. It's always windy out here because we have 180 acres over there. We don't, but there are 180 acres over there. Across the highway, I think there's another 150 acres. This is 120 acres, and there is just nothing really to stop the wind until you get here on this property where there's a few trees. And I mean, it's so bad we had to take the porch swing down because it was beating the house 5 feet off the ground, you know, just destroying things. So anyway, time to go over there, light this puppy up. And for those of you who might be wondering, because it's so windy, yes, I have checked just half an hour ago with the rural fire department, and we are good to burn today because we've had so much rain. This is Saturday. Thursday, we had 5.5 inches of rain in just a matter of hours. We had rain Wednesday. We had rain yesterday, Friday. We're going to have rain tonight starting at 11 o'clock all through the next morning, and we're supposed to have rain pretty much all day Sunday. This here's Melman. He will be 18 this year. As you can see, he's looking for treats. He thinks I am obliged to bring him treats. Once in a great while I do. He loves French fried onions. He loves onion rings. He'll eat a loaf of bread if you let him. But usually, he's just here to see what's going on because he lives out here 24/7. He used to be one of 5, now he's the only one. So he gets bored. And like I said, I usually come out here after work or after I've been to town and had lunch, and he can smell it. So he's always wanting to know where the hell his treats are. And at times, he will even go in the shed and stand in the corner with his nose in the corner and pout because he didn't get what he thought he deserved. So after it gets, you know, good and burning, he'll get bored and he'll go wander off. But right now, he's just here to see what's going on and what he can get into. So I'm gonna go keep an eye on this. Like I said, as soon as she burns good all the way around, I'll start pushing those hay bales up in there because they're wet. Nah, that's oil. You don't want that. Why don't you go eat some of your grass, dude? You know there's nothing over here for you. Alright, we'll come back later. Well, he just can't let it rest. He just knows. He knows I got some of these in my back pocket. So, come here. Hey, hey. And just that quick, he's done. He's kind of like me. He's old. Sorry, I was chewing there. And he likes things the way he likes things. And if it doesn't happen the way he likes it to happen, he will let you know about it. So he's now off to pout. He might come back later, but generally, once he's done, he's done. If I push much more, it's just going to push things out the other side. So for you guys that have never seen anything about Waldo, I'll talk about him for a little bit. So this is a Walden 5000. I don't know exactly the year. They quit making the 5000, they went to what they call the 6000. And if you look up there up front, that is actually a 6000 decal that somebody cut it and made it look like a 5. But anyway, so these loaders were made for mine use. My dad told me he also has seen them being used inside like big warehouses and stuff, warehouse type buildings where they would store, you know, crushed rock, and they would store cinders and road salt and things like that. And, you know, just to move around and load stuff that's loose. So if you look, number one, it's hard to get in and out of, especially me having a mechanical knee, you know, partially. So what you've got is, it's a hydrostat. So you have that pedal forward and reverse. You've got that gear shift, high and low. There's your brake pedal, which doesn't work right now. That lever right there without a knob on it, that is the parking brake, which is unhooked. Also doesn't work because it's only hooked to the front brakes. We are running what's basically, I think it's a 172 Ford industrial engine. This is the same kind of engine they put in Ford 4000 tractors and power units and other things like that. So updraft Zenith carburetor, and what I did when I got off was I was adjusting the mixture just a little bit because it just didn't quite have the power when I was pushing with it in high gear. So I tweaked that just a hair, just the mixture adjustment. It's water cooled, uses Dana 60 axles, 4-wheel drive, center articulating, obviously. This thing will turn a complete circle in, I think it's 55 or 58 inches. So there's these nice warnings. Do not put things here that you want to leave here in this field because it will crush them, chop them off. So, you know, it's basically just a loader. You know, it's a loader, it's just a smaller version of it. And so this one is out here is much better than the tractor for pushing because the bucket's as wide as the machine is. It's 4-wheel drive, so it will climb over little logs and stuff. Like you see that log laying right over there. It will climb over stuff like that, whereas the old Ford 4000 has a wide front end, but the bucket's not as wide as the front tires. And so you'll be pushing along, and if you hit something like that little piece of wood right there, it grabs your steering and wants to turn your steering, or it just locks up the wheel and it just pushes and it skates. So Waldo does a lot better work, especially on brush. Can lift a lot higher, has a higher lifting capacity, you know, it'll lift more weight, and it has the rollover protection. Doesn't help you much when you're going backwards through the trees that like to smack you in the back of the head, but you know, that's just the nature of the beast. So anyway, gonna let that burn down for a while, and then I'll do it again.